Okay, so last question for everybody. Earnings. We'll do a full earnings preview next week, but Amir, give me your raw thoughts. How are you feeling going into Q4?
There's a part of me that wishes for like a complete airball, like total miss, and then I'm gonna load up as crazy. But the other part of me tells me that no, it's probably not gonna happen, and Palantir will kill it as always. No, but we have been seeing acceleration within the government business. Like for the past 4 quarters, quarter on quarter, like for multiple quarters now, they went from 5% growth, 12%, 24, 40. So they've been doubling and doubling and doubling. And I want to see that momentum keep on going. Likewise, commercial has actually been kind of weak the past 2 quarters. So I would like to see some life there. But yeah, overall, I am expecting at least 30%, so more than the street. I haven't really sat down and looked at the numbers. I'll make sure to prepare a lot of fun and interesting charts and some projections for next week. But overall, I am probably quite optimistic, but I do believe there are some weaknesses with the past quarter. The actual customer count growth has like really slowed down from what we have seen. Like we aren't really feeling like it should be exponential in essence, because you have all these boot camps that have like doubled how many they ran, like quarter on quarter. So they started with something like 400, and then it went to 800 the next quarter, then like close to 1600. So that should mean an exponential increase in customers. Of course, they can run boot camps for existing customers as well. That's why current customers are like the net dollar retention rate is increasing. But I want to see higher customer count growth. I want to see a reacceleration of commercial, and the continued momentum of government is like some of the key things. And one of the other core points that I will be looking at is this continued increase of net dollar retention rate. If we can reach 120 for this quarter, I would be very happy. And of course, the margin expansion, but that's almost a given for Palantir at this point. So yeah, some pretty high expectations.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 for me. It's a coin toss, like you said. And Lunar hit on it earlier. I always love his commentary. He said, we got to cover up the I hope they have some good accounting magic to cover up the SARs, or else it could be a challenge. The only thing I could see that if Wall Street, because not everyone factored that in yet. Now, if everyone does that next week and they all factor it in and change their estimates, maybe it just skates by and it stays level. But the only thing I can think of that would get them to not look at that and the stock go up would be guidance that's 40 or 50% growth. And they're
do you think they would do that, Dom? 40 to 50%? Like, do you think we could get that in Q4?
I mean, they know so much of their business more than we do about these contracts and who they're talking to. And I mean, big deals take a long time. Like, that's the thing with this company in general, is still their deals are very, very large. So it's lumpy, right? We've always talked about that. The revenue's now gotten steady, but the big deals are still very lumpy and they take a long time to close. So if they have a couple government contracts that they know and they're waiting till all the confirmations and everything's coming in, and all of a sudden they land them, it could really change the growth trajectory. So that's the thing.
I agree with you guys. This SARS thing, I have no idea what the hell is going to happen with this. Maybe it's pricing, maybe it's not. I think they're going to guide for 32 to 34% growth and then slowly, hopefully make their way to 40%. I think if they give us 40%, it'd be a statement, but then the street would expect 45%,
Right. And I think they learned their lesson with that too, with the whole 5 years of 30% growth. So they've been really good about, like, I think they're going to hit their execution. They're going to hit it. But then when that SARS comes out, I mean, there's still some haters out there. They're going to be throwing that whole 90% miss on stuff.
Yeah, I actually don't believe they will even, like, if they guide 30%, I would be surprised. They've always been really, really timid with their own estimates, and that of course sets the bed for beating estimates. So I'm not sure. I don't think the management team will go out and say like 35-40%. I think the probability is like extremely low of that, just from what they've shown us historically. Now, in reality, do I believe that they can have that 40% year-over-year quarter? Yeah, I do believe that. And can you just share the screen? I just want to show this chart quickly to the stream. So this is total contract value per quarter, which is basically during that quarter, how much total contract value did they close? And we can see that this past quarter, it's not even one of the best quarters. Like Q3 of 2022 was 1.3 billion. Q4 was really strong last year with the 1.15, and then we have this 1.1. We know for a fact with like all the deals announced in Q4, I think this will blow it out of the water, which will give a lot of confidence in future growth to the investors and analysts tracking this stuff. So I know that the PR, maybe that's why you mentioned it earlier, like the PR leading up to like during the last part of 2024, it was like crazy. We were getting deals left and right, the government, commercial partnerships, everything. So I expect that I hope that we will hit a new all-time high in actual total contract value for the quarter, and I think that will send a signal like, okay, you can start to expect this from us into the future. So yeah, it kind of feels like a pivotal moment, right? We have this Trump presidency, everything like feels pivotal, like everything is being turned on its head, everything is changing. Kind of feels like that for Palantir too. They have had this runway of, okay, you went live with boot camps, AIP, you initially said you have no pricing strategy. Recently came out in the UBS report that yes, they do have a pricing strategy. This is how they set it up, but it's not fully fleshed out. It feels like now they can't really blame, like it's about to be 2 years that AIP has been out. Like we need to have some answers, and I think kind of feels like a very important quarter. If not this one, then at least next one we should have some pretty clear guidance on what we can expect from the business. But I still believe that the management team will be very cautious with their guide. I'm not sure we can see something like a 40%. Like, I've been wrong before, I can be wrong again, but yeah, still.
Sachin thinks we're going to 200, so
it could be. Who knows? What is that? Like
450 billion?
Accelerator.
It is, but wow.
Yeah. Sachin, I don't know if you're joking there, you're being super serious. I do know Sachin's macro thoughts that we are super risk on. And then if we are super risk on and we get 40 to 50% growth.
How about this? Sachin, why don't you come on and tell us? Like, you haven't been on for a while now. We kind of miss you. So come on, give us your updated thoughts. I think everyone wants to know what Sachin thinks about the current state of Palantir. At least I do. So come on my channel if you don't want to come here.
Yeah, he's been having some family stuff, which is why he hasn't been able to come on. But everyone knows that Sachin went all in at $8 on margin, and that is paid off, very nicely. So I agree, it's going to be an inflection quarter, bro.
Yeah, it does feel like there's going to be some companies that are going to be penalized this quarter if they don't have good earnings, because everyone's been hearing AI, which is true. And we're in early innings and we are going to see outcomes, but there's a lot of companies that are going to not deliver the results because their AI is not delivering true value. And that's only going to support Palantir stronger in the long run.
Yeah. And I think these PowerPoint sellers like Salesforce, that like, we're going to replace your sales force with our agents, but to sell this product, we are actually going to hire a sales force. Like, it's just crazy what's happening. But yeah, I believe that all these players that Carp says, stake dinners, PowerPoints, you all know, like golfers, they are going to start to be exposed one by one when it truly matters, because the expectations out of businesses is just so much higher now. Like, AI isn't as new as it was. Like, given we have reached some sort of saturation point in all the LLMs. I think we're going to start that transition. As Shyam said, like LLMs are being commoditized. DeepSeek more than anything shows that. Like they took $6 million reportedly and just caught up to like all of these billions and years of spending into LLMs, and they just caught up like in no time at all. So I think the era of LLMs, that whole part is about to be commoditized. So now the focus is going to shift to the like, okay, how do we actually use all these LLMs? How do you use all of this compute that we have invested all of these billions and hundreds of billions of dollars of capex in? Like, how do we extract value from that? And I think that's where a company like Palantir will actually start to realize most of its value and appreciation within the market. So I think it's going to be a huge year for Palantir overall, because just the trend around AI is it's come to that. I mean, we heard about a year ago that Snowflake CEO talked about, no, this year is the year of hardware. Next year is going to be the year of software within the AI sphere. And I think there's a lot of truth to that.
I'll leave my last comment here for the stream, Amit. You've asked several times over the past couple episodes, where would you want to see them spend their money? I want to see them find more engineering talent so they can scale even faster. Like that's where their money should go. Is, I mean, I can't imagine, how do you scale 3,900 employees to the possibilities that this company could go without adding heads? So that would be the one place I'd like to see, you know, train some more future leaders in the business.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think we can end on this comment by Sachin. Everything that has pushed Palantir to 80 has only improved. At some point, we will have a drawdown, but at this time, I don't think that is happening. The AI hype is only going to increase. If Palantir can fuel that with increased growth guidance, then it could be a special year in 2025, just like it was in 2024.
And we will.
No, I mean, you have all of these testimonials from like the leading businesses of their industries in the world. They're like, yeah, we implemented Palantir. Here are the results. Like, how can you watch that and not be excited and think like, oh my God, they are killing us. We also need to get on this train. So that's why I think like that's been the power of these AIP cons and having people present. Like, what do you as a competitor to those businesses think when you're sitting there and you're saying, yeah, we implemented Palantir and we saved the $250 million the first year? You're like, what? If you're a competitor to that business. So yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to what Sachin is saying. I think the operationalizing of AI, that time is about to be now. As Amit likes to say, I don't wear a watch because the time is now, or whatever you say.
Dude, I haven't said that line in a while. And you just reminded me that was an Amitism that I got to bring back. I don't wear a watch because the time is now. There you go. There you go.
I mean, either.
Yeah, you either. All right.
Way to end it.
That's it for us. We'll be back next week. So next week, we will have a proper Palantir earnings preview. Earnings is on next Monday. So we'll be live on Friday. And then we'll get Q4 earnings and 2025 guidance. And we'll see.
I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about after that, for sure.
We will have a lot to talk about after Q4 earnings and ultimately how they guide for 2025 as well. All right. Thank you, everybody. Dom and Amir's Twitter and YouTube's in the description. We will see you guys.
Yeah, help me get to 10,000. I've been stuck at 9,000 for a long. I'm not like Amit.
Yeah, go follow Dom. He deserves it for sure.
Yeah, everyone's stuff in the description. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye, everyone. Have a good one.